Hey, this is part 2 of the misdirection lessons, and the second thing I want to talk about is that a large motion will cover a small motion. Another good example of this besides this trick, I'll get to this one in a minute, but the French drop, okay? If you're not familiar with the French drop, you start with a coin, okay, and you make it disappear. It's another vanishing coin trick, but here, the main method of misdirection is the large motion covers the small motion. Okay, so here's the coin. Notice that I was holding the coin in this hand. So what I'm doing is I'm not actually taking the coin into my other hand. I'm just leaving it in this hand, essentially like this. But now watch this. This is the small motion. This is the move. Okay, so now you can't see the coin anymore, but I'm still holding it. Okay? It's just not held up the same way as it was. I'll hold this a little closer, you can see it. Okay, so you're holding the coin like this, and you simply drop the coin into your fingers. That's all you do here. That's the small motion, because that is a small motion, right? All you have to do is move your thumb up a tiny little bit, and the coin will fall back into your fingers. Not to mention the motion of the coin is relatively small. All it does is fall back. So here, we're going to cover it with some large motions. Alright, one large motion involves having your hands spread apart, and this hand will have to come over to grab the coin. So compared to this is a large motion. And that's part 1 of 2 of the motions in this trick. So first you come like this to grab the coin, and the second large motion is that you turn both hands over and point to your other hand. Okay, that's where you're going to show the coin vanished. So just in case you're not familiar with the French drop, I'll show you the key points of this. So when do you drop the coin? Well, that's a good question. As your other hand comes around, you slide your thumb behind the coin and your fingers in front, because that's how you would grab the coin. If you were holding the coin like this, which you probably wouldn't be, you'd be holding it like this, and then you just go like this if you're going to make it vanish. But so you're starting like this, you come over to grab the coin like this and pull it away. So that's exactly how you want to make it look. You want to make it look like you're grabbing the coin and pointing at your fist, and that's when it's going to vanish. Okay, so you're holding it like this, your thumb goes behind, your fingers go in front, and once your fingers start to close around it, now you can't see the coin anymore, so that's a perfect opportunity for you to drop the coin into your fingers, finish closing your hand, and now they can't see it, so they assume it's gone. And once your hand is closed, once your hand is closed, you turn your hands over and point to this fist, which gives you an excuse to curl these fingers, because you're not going to point, like if you had it in classic palm, you're not going to point to your fist like this. That's ridiculous. You're going to go like this. Think about how you point, or the saying, when you point at someone, 3 fingers are pointing back at you. Well, it's true, because you curl your fingers into a fist when you point at something. Okay? So you start like this, gone. Slow motion from the side, move in front, drop the coin, like that, and bang, it's gone. So that's how you do the French drop. So the 2 motions here, covering the small motion of dropping the coin, coming over, and turning your hands over. Those are your 2 large motions. So if you just did it like this, I mean, sure, it's hard to minimize the move of turning over the wrists. It's easier to minimize the move of coming over. All you gotta do is put your hands close together. But if you just did the vanish like this, oh, excuse me, I did that one badly. If you just did it like this, it's not amazing at all, because as soon as you make it vanish, if this hand is still in the same position, people are going to know right away, well, the coin is in your other hand. Why didn't it move? Look how close my hands are together. If I make the coin vanish from here, there's nowhere else it could have gone but behind these fingers. Okay, so you want to have both motions there, completely covering everything you do. And then, of course, after the illusion, you could always slide your hands back. All I did was drop the coin on the table there, because I had it curled in my fingers, flip my hand over. Once my fingers are resting on the table, lightly drop the coin, slide your hands back, ditch the coin in your lap, or whatever you want to do, slide your hands forward, and then if anyone has any questions for you, you're clean, because the coin is now in your lap. It's completely vanished now. It's not just still hiding in your other hand. So that is the large motion covers the smaller motion. Now, how does that apply to this trick? Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, The small motion in this trick is this. Okay, and if you just do it that way, if you just do this, it's not that amazing. It's fairly obvious, because look at where the coin is and look at where your hand is. It speaks volumes. People are going to go, well, you just dropped it off the edge of the table. They might not know exactly how you did it or when you did it. They might not expect it when you actually picked up the coin, but once you make it vanish, it's going to spring up a whole bunch of questions in their mind. Why was the coin at the edge of the table? Why was their hand at the edge of the table? All these sorts of things. So what you're going to do is cover it with a large motion. And the large motion here, there's actually two of them again. First one is this one. Okay? You don't have to do it fast, but bringing the coin back is a large motion. And the second large motion here is picking your hand up and bringing it to the center of the table. It looks natural, because if the coin starts in the center of the table and you end in the center of the table, it looks like you never left the center of the table, which is exactly what you want them to think. Because if you've never left the center of the table, they're not going to be wondering how you could have got the coin in your lap, because your hand was never over there. I mean, granted, you could have gone like this, but they would have noticed that, and since they didn't, they're not even questioning that, okay? So, two large motions here. You put your hand over the coin, you bring it up, back to the center of the table, right where it started, and then you make it vanish, okay? So those are the two large motions in that trick, and that is the second lesson of misdirection. The large motion covers the smaller motion. So thanks very much for watching this video, and good luck practicing it.